Court and Chloe joining the game.
Absolutely, very exciting. We had Chris just a couple of weeks ago. We've announced this morning we've got Kourtney and Chloe joining probably just in time for the holidays. And the game's in the top 10 grossing still. So I think there's probably a lot of investor misperception around how long this game is going to stay in the top 10 grossing.
How involved have Kourtney and Chloe been? And Chris, I mean, I know you talked a lot about how much Kim cares about this, but what is it like to work with the rest of the Kardashian clan?
Well, Kim's certainly on point for all of this, and probably her momager is second on point. So they're all approving their images, and there's a lot of iteration on how people look and how they'll be involved. But Kim's actually, thankfully, been doing a lot of this for us directly.
You've got a contract with Kim until 2019.
Yep.
What if she is no longer popular by then? I mean, investors do seem to be worried.
Sure. I think that's probably unfounded. If you look at the history of the
What's
Kardashian
unfounded?
that she will not be popular in 2019. Obviously, we've taken a big bet on that. Although the deal terms, they've been publicly disclosed, and they're really quite reasonable if you look at the size of minimum guarantees versus royalties that she's been paid. And I think her brand's actually just getting started. If you look at international markets, she's just popular right now in a few of them, and she's scratching the surface, I think, tip of the iceberg of where she'll probably be in 3, 4, 5 years' time.
You've also said you're paying significant royalties on this game. I mean, how much is it costing you to have the Kardashians involved here? And you're also looking at the most significantly profitable year for Glue in 7 years. Does this weigh on those profits? No,
it's actually, this is the misperception, I think, of all misperceptions right now on the Glue stock, is that it's actually enhancing profitability really quite significantly. EBITDA for Glue in Q3 was $15 million. It's guided to be another big quarter for us in Q4. And Kim's been a big piece of that in both quarters. So on a blended basis, royalties are running at something like 12% of total Glue revenues. But it's going down in the percentage terms in Q4 because Kim will be a lower percentage of revenues in Q4 than Q3.
What do you think investors are worried about then? Because I know your CFO has sold millions of dollars worth of his stock.
Well, I would never look at sort of selling so much as buying, right? So people sell for a lot of reasons. There's retirement planning, there's buying houses, getting divorces, all sorts of reasons people might sell stock. But they only buy for one reason. In the last 2 weeks, I bought some stock. Just yesterday, or rather Friday, 2 more of our directors bought stock. So I think the disjuncture between Glue profitability and stock price performance has never been greater in our history, actually.
So why should we be betting on the Kardashians, essentially? Because this has become a huge driver of growth for you.
It's been a big driver, but there's actually 4 games in the top 100 grossing for us. Kim's number 9. Racing Rivals is number 33, Deer Hunters 57, Contra Killers 75. So we're a franchise company, and actually all 4 of our big franchises I think are going to do well for the next year, if not more.
Philosophical gaming question. We've been talking a lot about Take-Two's latest version of Grand Theft Auto, which allows you to have sex with prostitutes and then kill them. They say that it is art. What do you say? I mean, it's a different kind of gaming than the games that you guys are making, but it's sort of part of this world.
Well, I think free speech is free speech on the one hand. On the other hand, you know, we're a mobile game focused company. We partner closely with Apple and Google. We have a board member in common with Google. And we want our titles to be featured prominently. So I don't think you're going to have a path to featured success with these storefront partners if you go over that line. We keep our games 12 plus and sometimes sort of G, so to speak. So, you know, ultimately, if you look at a Deer Hunter or a Contra Killer game, they have really quite little violence compared to a console game. The majority of Glue portfolio revenues are indeed not coming from violence, certainly not extent. So, you know, things like Racing Rivals and the Kardashian game, they're very, very family friendly.
So you've got Kim, you've got Kourtney, Chloe, and Chris. I know she's very protective of North. How do you build out the Glue empire? Aside from getting North on board?
Well, step 1 for us, as we've always said, is make sure that the Kim Kardashian Hollywood game has a 5-year plus run. We're adding family members. We keep adding other locations, right? So wherever Kim is in the world, whatever she's up to, this game is more entwined in her life. There's opportunities for other Hollywood partners, potentially. So if you look at Kim's world in its entirety, there's other people she interacts with which we could probably add into the game. So look out for that next year.
Like who?
TV, you know, we'll chat about that next time, possibly. There's also obviously room for other celebrity games. So we're in discussions with other big names, big social followers who want to, frankly, make what we call transmedia experiences. Make a game that mirrors your real world in the virtual space. And there's other people that I think will be exciting that will come out next year.